Oh, good morning, good afternoon, Kat. How are you doing?
Hi, Ellen. All good, thanks. It's good to see you. How are you?
Great. It's wonderful to meet you in this virtual room to discuss trends that we see evolving for our climate advisory services, specifically around Scope 3 and particularly supply chain decarbonization. So I know here in the US, we've seen many clients start to assess their supply chains when it comes to their GHG impacts. And this is not really only with mature clients who have a long history of ESG or EHS outreach with their suppliers, but really across all sectors. Are you observing the same thing in EMEA-based organizations?
Yes, and it's very encouraging for us that our clients are more and more looking into their supply chain. So we need this chain reaction to get on track to meet the ambitious targets that's been set, especially in EMEA on all levels, and to keep us ideally at 1.5 degree trajectory, right? So. And also, I would like to make a reference to and a link to COVID pandemic to explain this trend. This is what we see. So the 2020 disruption and the changes that it brought to the global supply chains been tremendous, and the stress and the levels of stress. 1, 2, 3, and many companies are now rethinking the way how they operate their supply chains, and at the same time they might have developed a deeper understanding that in most cases more sustainable supply chains are also more resilient. So adding the climate impact of your suppliers as an additional layer can create greater synergies, and it's very timely strategy. Many companies are very open these days to have these conversations with us.
Very true. And I'd say another emerging trend that we're seeing is consumer pressure. This has always been there, but supply chain engagement has really been a very significant emerging megatrend that we've seen. So specifically, one of our largest engagements with the Walmart Gigaton program and a few other retailers who have recently started to engage in a very similar way is really fueled by a growing consumer interest in being able to see not just what they buy, but where it comes from. So in 2020, we've seen about 80% of consumers indicate that sustainability is important to them, which is fantastic. But even more, 86% say that transparency and business sustainability is important to them. So really understanding where things come from is not just a nice to have, it's a must have. So being able to understand the carbon footprint of your suppliers and help to engage with them to reduce their GHG emissions is a huge differentiator for clients, alongside with other ESG issues. When you actually translate this ambition into impact, it's really, really significant. So for example, the project, Walmart's project Gigaton aims to avoid 1 gigaton of carbon from their value chain by 2030. To translate this into another analogy, that's essentially as much as the annual emissions of Japan, which is the number 5 highest emitter in annual carbon. So to date, more than 2,300 suppliers from 50 countries are participating in this project.
Wow. And I guess with size comes the complexity, and it's a big challenge for probably for Walmart as well, and for many of our clients. As a company of a certain size, you will have what, tier 1, tier 2, tier 3 suppliers, right? From ranging from corporations that might be a lot larger than your own company down to very small enterprises, and they all again have many interlinks with each other as well. So for example, we are working with our own supply chain department at Schneider Electric, uh, with our own program towards an ultimate goal of net zero carbon emissions, including suppliers as well, by 2050. So here at Schneider Electric, as you quite well know, we have thousands of suppliers of all sizes from around the globe, and many of them are also our clients. So it's a complex ecosystem, and you have to understand its mechanics to enable the change. So this is what we usually tackle in the first step of our programs. We assess the suppliers ecosystem, we collect quantitative and qualitative data, we identify priority levers. We can't tackle 5,000 suppliers at a time, right? We need to map out a roadmap that is tailored to this specific need, this specific client, and a lot of data mining. And at the beginning, it's a data hunt, isn't it?
Exactly. Yes. Exactly. The data plan is one of the essentials that we discuss with clients early on. You can't boil the ocean, and these programs are so complex. We need to help encourage our clients to digitize as much as possible, to use energy or enterprise level energy and sustainability software solutions such as Resource Advisor, and also automate data streams and fill gaps. So one of the really interesting areas we see is the help of AI and machine learning combined with human expertise to track performance and suppliers and to help foster successful initiatives, or in some cases fail fast. These are the first time that many people are even doing these programs. So the number of suppliers and the types of initiatives and reduction levers can feel really overwhelming to our clients. So we try to help them make them understand that they can grow with their programs. So ideally, you want to look for suppliers with a combination of things like either a very large hotspot carbon footprint, or maybe you have a really long relationship with that supplier and have already gained a lot of trust with them, or perhaps they already have a very mature ESG program already in place, or best case scenario, they have all three. So this can really help your supplier relationship and find some fast wins for you to gain confidence in your program and get C-level buy-in for your next steps. So it's a journey, but ideally on a fast train.
That's a very nice picture. So we hear from our clients that this is exactly the programmatic approach from strategy to action. That is a game changer for them. So we don't, leave them alone with a piece of strategy saying that, well, you should do this, off you go. But actually, we embark together on a variety of initiatives to drive engagement with a supply chain decarbonization. So from our supplier capacity building programs, where we enable suppliers to drive their own climate programs and sustainability initiatives through education, to renewable energy aggregation, to help suppliers to take advantage of renewable energy opportunities, to your case with Walmart and on-site project to increase supplier energy efficiency. We can also help to address unavoidable Scope 3 emissions through credible carbon offset programs, a first step that many programs consider on the road to decarbonization. So, and there are more examples, of course. So helping suppliers set their own science-based targets. So we have a proven kit of potential initiatives, and with a good understanding of our clients, we together build the best matching programs. And with the power of digital, and we can even accelerate these programs to indeed, as you say, put them on a fast train alongside with monitoring performance really closely and innovate in real time.
Exactly. There's been a lot of discussions around agility as a capability as companies embrace the new normal. So within that context, we see our clients start to have a better understanding and engagement with their suppliers and actually just gain agility. And agility many times means increased resiliency. So companies are at a turning point at this moment to start to focus on green recovery. And with the current uptake that we're seeing in supply chain decarbonization, we have a real reason to be very optimistic that this is going to lead to not just linear, but also geometric or even exponential growth or reduction, I should say, in GHG reductions.
Yes, I'm very optimistic, and I hope you are as well. Sounds like we both are. And yeah, looking forward to see more ambitious programs as we help our clients to embark on them. Speak soon. Thank you, Eileen. Cheers.
Yeah, thank you too. Bye.